about all those times you've either thought or said a stereotypical comment to someone in your school because of their race. Did you do it on purpose? We as a nation must avoid making stereotypical comments about others in educational environments. You're probably thinking that stereotypes will always exist since it's part of basic human nature. However, living in such a diverse country requires all of us to rethink the effects they may have on us as a community. As a Latina student who studied both in the US and in Mexico, I've experienced some of the Latino stereotypes given to us in school because of our race and what are thought to be our values. With that being said, I will argue how stereotypes can affect school achievement and how Latinos are seen in negative ways in school. First, I will tell you about how stereotypes can affect school achievement. Stereotypes have always been a part of our culture, but we may not realize the effect they have on school achievement. According to the article, knowing about stereotypes versus believing them, such beliefs are in the air, with children being exposed to them from birth and making sense of them as early as 3 to 4 years old. Specifically, targeting students with negative stereotypes based on school achievement can result in them feeling unmotivated rather than encouraged. According to the same article, awareness about stereotypes about one's group extends to achievement. Stereotype threat research shows that awareness of a stereotype about one's group and the fear of it being applied onto oneself can actually depress academic achievement. Although some of us may think that stereotypes actually motivate us to try and prove them wrong, the opposite ends up happening, resulting in students showing lower achievement actually believing these stereotypes. Some may argue that the reason for students having lower achievement is because they're not interested in seeking higher education. However, according to a study in the Social Behavior and Personality International Journal, compared to students who are higher achievers academically, lower achievement students face disadvantages in their acquisition of knowledge. To a large extent, these difficulties result from their poor cognitive skills, but the negative stereotypes given to them by teachers and peers are another contributor. From this, it is quite evident how the use of stereotypes towards lower achievement students ensure that they remain at this level, resulting in them feeling unmotivated to actually seek higher education, rather than them not being interested in doing so. Next, let me tell you about how the Latino community is affected by stereotypes in education. From medias and my friends, I know that Latinos are associated with negative attributes such as having bad grades, being involved in gangs, and in drugs. During my senior year, I had a conversation with a friend and she asked me what my GPA was. I told her that it was a 3.9 and she asked how come it was better than hers if I was Mexican. I didn't understand what my race had anything to do with my GPA, but she then proceeded to tell me how I only had this GPA because education in Mexico was easier. I later understood how because most Latinos in our high school were involved in fights, drugs, and had bad grades, my friend associated my race to this image. Some may assume that all Latinos engage in bad habits or have lower achievement because they're lazy and like to party. However, what many who aren't Latino fail to consider are the hardships we face as a race. According to an article in a Journal of Child and Family Studies, the few extant studies of undocumented parents and their children suggest that the hardships parents experience place their children at risk for developmental outcomes. This same article also states how studies have found positive association between acculturation to the U.S. and Latino substance use. As you can see, many factors such as immigration play a role in the stereotypes that Latinos are given. Furthermore, I believe that some ways to stop making stereotypes about other races are for school institutions to include a mixed teacher team in which different students will feel compelled and identified with them and will work better in school. Another way is for extracurricular activities to be used in order to promote diversity. This would eliminate the use of stereotypes because we would all understand other races, what they're based on, and we wouldn't just assume things. Another solution could be for schools to provide ethnic studies. For example, here at SJSU, some of the studies available to us are African American studies, Native American, Mexican American, Chinese American. All of these will help us grow intellectually, and we should all consider engaging in these classes. Overall, We live in a diverse country where many races shape our educational system. With stereotypes from media, it can be hard not to base our knowledge of other people based on what we've heard. However, as a society, it is necessary for all of us to understand each other and understand our races. Don't you want to live in a country in which you're not judged based on stereotypes anymore?